Hey, I'm Scotty Rock.
And I'm Nate Danger.
Oh yeah, and today we're going to talk about...
Today we're doing episode 1 of a new series. We're doing Rock It or Flop It.
That's right, and today we're going to talk about...
We're talking about cover songs. Cover songs, did they elevate the material or did they fall a little flat?
Yeah, man.
This is a cover song that was chosen by you.
Yeah, that's right.
And what's it going to be?
The song is called Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, man.
What are we talking about?
What? Led Zeppelin covered it. I always thought it was like an original Led Zeppelin when they did it. I thought it was an original thing.
Yes,
And
as
then-
I'm sure most people did think that.
I know, it's crazy, right?
All right, so let's talk about it. Where did the world first hear Dazed and Confused?
Back in like the 70s, I don't even know what year it...
1969 was the
1969
release of
debut album.
Nice. Of Led Zeppelin.
And this was one of the first singles off that album.
And they crashed onto the scene.
Crashed onto the scene, brand new band, never heard of them before.
Dazed and Confused, I think, was track 3
I think so.
on the debut.
Yeah. So, and like for myself personally, I came home after school, again on the Power Hour, I think.
Oh.
And I turned on the TV, and up until then, I never really heard Zeppelin, because none of my older siblings had it. I've heard of the name, I know the legend, but I never actually put some ears on Zeppelin, right?
Arguably one of the biggest bands of all time
I
for
know,
a rock
man.
band.
Epic band. Great
Unbelievable.
musicians, great songs, great catalog.
Yeah, and so highly regarded.
Yeah.
Like, there is people, like, I think of my buddy Lyndon.
Hey, what's up?
And he is just absolutely obsessed with Led Zeppelin.
Oh.
And Zeppelin is such a great band, such a great catalog, so respected. I don't know anyone who doesn't respect, even if they don't listen to Zeppelin,
I know.
every single musician respects what they did and how they changed the whole dynamic
For me,
of the rock world.
there's so much depth in their catalog.
Yeah.
And when you discover Zeppelin and then you go back and listen to the albums front to back throughout all the, their releases, it's
Some of the greatest songs.
greatest songs ever written. Greatest production too. Jimmy Page producing some of his, I think he produced most of their own records.
Yeah.
But okay, so Dazed and Confused comes out. This is my first thing, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
there's in a studio somewhere, he's got like mirrors on his Telecaster and he's playing with a violin bow, and I'm just like, wow, wow.
So long, it's not true.
And I'm like, what's going on? Like John Paul Jones is like doing that descending riff again that we love
Yes,
so
dude.
much. And John Bonham, just like those big fills. Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay, so but then
What a great feel this song has.
I know. Okay.
And go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, like years later, so I read a Jimmy Page book, and he was saying that "Dazed and Confused" was a cover song, and I was like, "What?" I was like,
Well, when did you read this book? Because he didn't even admit this forever.
"Yeah." Well, it wasn't until like I don't know, maybe less than 10 years ago, I discovered it was a cover.
Okay. This is a staple of a song that became a song Zeppelin was known for.
Yeah.
And in live performances, sometimes would exceed, we're talking 30 minutes plus.
Plus, yeah,
Of them jamming out this song.
just jamming on the breakout of this riff.
So what's the original?
Okay, well, here's the thing, man. The original was done by a dude named Jake Holmes. He's like a
Jake Holmes.
folk rock troubadour kind of guy out of New York.
Yeah.
And
Alternative folk.
alternative folk, I would say, kind of back then it was like the coffee house scene, and everyone has a folk guitar and they're putting out albums. But
Absolutely. So what's the story with Jake Holmes?
well, he put out this one album, and on this is Dazed and Confused. And so
Yes.
I found this record, I put it on, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It was like dead on, same descending riff, even opens with that little wah harmonic. Wah, wow. That to me is the song, greatest intro of all time, guitar riff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but it's all on two acoustic guitars and a stand-up bass. I don't even think they have a drummer.
I'll be excused, but I'd just like to know. Give me a clue as to where I am at. Feel like a mouse and you act like a cat.
Hey?
Yeah, it's great though.
It's
So I never
good.
knew about this until you introduced it to me.
Yeah.
And going back and listening to it, this is really interesting. So where did their paths cross?
Okay, here's the thing. Jimmy Page was playing bass in the Yardbirds.
Yes.
And if you're not familiar with the Yardbirds, used to be Eric Clapton. Clapton quit. Jeff Beck joined. Their bass player quit. They're going on tour of America. Jimmy Page got asked to sit in.
That's right.
As a session guy.
We're talking in 1967.
Yeah, somewhere back then. And then halfway through the tour, Jeff Beck quits. And
Okay.
they're like, bass player, you gotta play guitar. So Jimmy Page becomes the lead guitar player for the Yardbirds.
Yes.
They go to New York. They go to a coffee shop. Jake Holmes is playing. And they're all like mesmerized by this song he's playing. Dazed and
Now, I
Confused.
thought Jake Holmes opened for them.
Well, maybe. I don't know where they actually met. But I think they played some shows maybe earlier on in their Yardbirds career. Maybe he did open, but
Okay, but either way,
Either
they
way.
came into contact with Jake Holmes.
yeah, right.
So they saw this song.
Mhm.
They stole this song, for lack of better.
More or less, yeah.
Right?
Well, and they're probably like, oh, that's a cool, like, easy riff to play. And it has super dynamic. It's, at the time, the 60s are all, like,
Psychedelic, man.
psychedelic, yeah, kind of vibe going on. So they're like, hey, this is trippy or whatever.
Okay, so let's compare the songs.
Well, compare the songs. It's called Dazed and Confused.
Okay, so the title's the same.
The title's the same. He starts each verse with, I've been dazed and confused. Or dazed,
Dazed and confused for so long.
Yeah.
So, and I would say that the chord structure's the same.
Chord is the same. Even that that little harmonic on that
The
12th
intro,
fret intro is
all
the same.
very similar.
So it follows, and then it kind of also follows the theme of it, where it sort of rambles and gets jammy and
Yeah.
kind of drones on. And stuff
Vocal
like that.
line?
Yeah, vocal line.
Vocal line is
Pretty much,
pretty close.
pretty close. I'd say it's the same melody. Lyrics are different.
Yes, the lyrics are different. Okay, so Zeppelin did take it. They changed the lyrics up.
So Yardbirds saw this. They took this riff. They started playing it in their sets.
Yes.
And there's lots of live versions of them doing it, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, like I checked out.
I don't think anything's as cool as the Jake Holmes version.
No, well,
I really
because
don't.
that's so jarring to listen to. Because you're like, whoa, what is this going on?
Yeah, and it doesn't go into that faster, middle part that Zeppelin added.
Yeah.
And they do the big guitar solo
But
and
he,
all
but
that.
he does do like a guitar solo, kind of like an Indian reggae, kind of like droney thing.
Yeah, I'm dazed and confused, and it's all upside down.
It feels more dark.
Dark, yeah. Feels
The
like
Jake Holmes version is about a girl that he's supposedly dating in a
Right.
relationship with, and she's flip-flopping.
Yeah.
Does she know? Does she want to be with him? Does she not? He's on the fence, and it's about the anguish that he's going through mentally
Right.
while she's trying to make this decision.
Yeah.
Right? Which I think is a kind of a really cool subject matter for this song.
Oh, for sure, yeah, man.
Yeah.
So Yardbirds bail, everyone breaks up. Jimmy Page still has the Yardbirds name, so he books a tour as the new Yardbirds,
Yep.
which became Led Zeppelin, which became we need another song for our set list because all of a sudden we're on tour. And
Okay.
Dazed and Confused, he's like, I got this riff. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna extend out the middle part.
Yep.
We're gonna rearrange it. We're gonna start with the bass.
Probably became so popular in their live set, they had to put it on.
Yeah,
album.
they probably had to have that continuation, hey, from the Yardbirds to Zeppelin. Because
Yeah.
back then they're probably like new band. And the Yardbirds were quite like popular at the time.
Absolutely.
So, but Jimmy Page is like, he's probably like, hey, how the lyrics go or whatever. And like, oh, it goes like this. I'm dazed and confused, kind of mumbles. So Robert Plant kind of fills in the blanks with the lyrics, Again,
Yeah.
scorned by a woman or whatever.
Scorned by a woman.
You
Come on.
Come on, man.
What is it with these women?
Okay, so Led Zeppelin comes out,
Okay.
and they extend this middle part, which I love. Like, they take a 3-minute song and make it almost 7 minutes or so.
They did. They took
Yeah.
it to the next level.
Yep.
Yeah.
What-
So obviously they evolved the song,
Yeah.
they evolved the subject matter, they evolved the playing.
And it was definitely like built over like a live performance, because that middle section, with the shots, and then Jimmy Page answers it, and then it, dun, 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 you know what I mean? Oh, that's my favorite part. And then all of a sudden the drums come in, dun, 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 bass player just like just starts rocking.
John Paul Jones.
I know, right? And then Jimmy Page just rips into the solo, like this thing goes to another planet,
Yes.
And, okay, yeah, sloppy solo. Like Jimmy Page plays sloppy, but so much
Who
emotion.
cares?
Who cares?
It's the best.
It's the motion
sloppy
behind it.
solos are the best.
I know.
I would rather listen to a sloppy solo any day that
Any
has
day.
feeling
Yeah.
and attitude versus all this technicality.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I thought the same thing on the way over. I was listening. I'm like, oh man, just goes for it. Hey,
This is awesome.
kind of reaches new heights on
Yeah.
that song.
Okay.
Okay. Well, like, what's the deal, man?
So obviously we enjoy both versions.
Both versions.
Yeah, are we gonna say does it rock it or flop it?
Well, hang on a sec. Before we get to that point, here's the thing, which is a bit of a dick move on Led Zeppelin's part, is they never credited Jake Holmes as the writer of the song.
Right. So backstory goes, obviously
Backstory goes, this
he
guy
reached out in the 80s
reached out in the 80s, 12 years later,
and they said pound sand.
pound sand, and he's like, I'm too broke to get a lawyer, and they just let it, go sit.
Yeah, and it wasn't 2010.
2010, yeah.
Yeah.
He finally got a lawyer together, struck up a deal, because he's like, the money could support my grandchildren and their, kids a little
Sued
bit.
Zeppelin, settled out of court.
Settled out of court, and now it's credited as inspired by.
No.
No, it's not.
No, he's the first songwriter
Songwriter,
listed.
listen. Okay.
So everyone else is listed too. John Paul Jones,
Right.
Jimmy Page, Robert Plant. Everybody's listed as a songwriter, but Jake Holmes is the first primary listed on the. At least when I'm looking at Wikipedia and stuff.
Right, and from like a legal standpoint, I'm not like a music lawyer or anything, but like called the same, follows the same melody and structure.
Yeah.
Starts with Dazed and Confused, which is the key part of
If
the
Tom
song.
Petty can win a court case against
Exactly.
what was that guy's name? Sam
Phillips or something. No, Sam Roberts. No,
Sam Hunt.
Sam Feldman.
What was it? Sam.
He's the-
What was his name?
He's the big gay devil guy now.
What are you talking about?
Sam, when he played the Grammys.
Sam Smith?
Sam Smith, yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah. Okay, anyways.
Won't you stay with me?
See, and I thought the same. Like, okay, well, if he's gonna win on that or
Yeah.
lose on that or whatever, then Led Zeppelin,
Every
obviously
video the
lifted
Wonder
off.
Boom turns off.
I know. Hey, just cut it out. Okay, so that being said, they settled out of court. I think it was the right thing to do.
That's right.
They shouldn't have ripped them off so hard, especially in modern times. It's not like, and the chord progression and everything.
Let's give the guy some credit.
Yeah,
He wrote it.
he wrote it, recorded it, put it on his own
You made
album,
millions off of it.
and you made millions off it. So, okay, but that being said,
Okay,
rock it or flop it.
rock it or flop it.
Yeah, man.
Zeppelin, you know what? Obviously they rocked it.
hardcore.
They rocked it, man.
They rocked it.
They
so
changed it. They evolved it. It's one of the best songs. One of the
Ever.
best bands.
best performance of a song even with the violin bow and like
They took it
the
next level.
shots, next level stuff, man.
That's right.
Yeah. So Led Zeppelin, way to go. Hey,
Good job.
Nice job.
Good job. You know what? The only bad thing is you didn't give him credit. Come on, man.
come on.
Jesus.
But that was the industry back then. Everyone was getting ripped off.
Yeah.
But,
Zeppelin arguably stole quite a bit.
okay. You're right with that. Okay, man. But here's the thing. I was listening to the Jake Holmes version before we wrap it up.
Yeah.
I think there's still potential for someone to cover that song and doing an amazing job on it. And the one band that pops in my head.
Keep it real. Keep it back to the original lyrics.
Go back to the original vibe.
Maybe you and I.
Maybe you and I could do it.
We could cover it.
But I was thinking like the Tea Party.
Tea Party.
The Tea Party
They got
come
nothing on
with
us.
all their like acoustic stuff,
And their sitar.
the sitars and everything, and doing an amazing job.
He sings like Jim Morrison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they could do it. I think we could do it.
I like the Tea Party.
Yeah, I love the Tea Party. But
There you go.
I think they could cover the acoustic version of the song much better.
Well, Tea Party.
Tea
If you're
Party
watching,
challenge.
you right?
Yeah, the Tea
Give us a
Party
call.
challenge.
We'll have a Dazed and Confused off.
Yeah, you get the hurdy-gurdy out and give her something.
And we'll just play on the beat up black Simon and Patrick acoustic. And
Yeah.
We'll see who rocks it then.
Okay, man, rock it or flop it. Way to go.
Rock it. So
Rock it.
Zeppelin did it.
Did it.
And we're going to have some more in this series, right? Where we talk about cover songs. Did they elevate it and take it to the next level? Or did they fall flat, right? That's what it's all about.
Oh man, this is one of my favorite topics of all time.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Scotty
so-
Rock and Nate Danger want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone for watching. We appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends.
Yeah, that's right. Share our videos and stuff. And
Yeah.
hey, throw
Yeah.
us a sponsor link. Send us some beer.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Okay, let's give
Peace
her.
out.
Living